own resources. When we got 10 acres in Hoima, they were not enough for a stadium. We used our own resources and bought another 10 acres. And people talk about, if people want to eat the money, this is the money they can. We decided ourselves and bought it. And this land in the names of FUFA. We have now actually, I can announce that we have gotten 10 more acres out of our resources again. So that we have 30 acres. Because the contractors who are going to construct the stadium looked at 20 and they said it will be too squeezed. It fits there, but it won't give us a world-class facility we are looking at.
Yes, welcome back to Brianatic Sports. My name is Brian, and of course, yes, another new day, a day really to talk about the news coming in from the local scene, and of course, the latest from what is coming in from the Hoima Stadium. A lot of people have been asking, what is the update? What knowledge do you have about the stadium that is supposed to be constructed for the African Cup of Nations? You remember that Uganda submitted in 3 stadiums. Those stadiums were supposed to be the stadiums that are supposed to be hosting the African Cup of Nations. In the proposal, that was in the Pamoja bid. We had that is Mandela National Stadium that has a capacity of a 40,000 seater. We also had the Hoima City Stadium that was also supposed to be constructed, as well as the Akibua Stadium. And already there's been questions of the increased delay and the lack of information, especially as towards to the construction of this stadium. And a lot has been talked about, and in one of the interviews that Mr. Moses Magogo gave, we managed to get an update. And of course, I'm not really sure why the interview was later deleted. It's on their official TV page, YouTube, as well as the TV itself, but it was later deleted. But the information that we got is that the construction of the Hoima City Stadium, as earlier anticipated, it is ongoing, and we expect it to kickstart a little bit more further. One of the few delays that we had, of course, by the time of confirming and by the time of the news coming out that they're going to be building a stadium all the way in Hoima City, they had not done a feasibility study, a groundwork study, a soil study, and those are the first things that are done, especially by any contractor, if you're going to be constructing a stadium. And you remember the day that they announced this, they did it all the way in Hoima City with representatives from the city council, including the mayor and all that stuff. They're all present. They came out and talked about how they are going to levy a few fees from, of course, from the construction works, how they are going to be supportive in all the things that are supposed to be done. And you remember the contractor Suma was given a ground tour for the stadium and the place that is supposed to be constructed. And it was, of course, initially it was 10 acres that were donated by the Jumba family and the little Jumba family. And after that, FUFA came out and acquired another 10 acres. So that was where, of course, we all had the news. That is where the news stopped. And latest, of course, coming in from there, from Mr. Moses Magogo himself, we managed to get a clip of him, of course, on the FUFA official TV, and him coming out and confirming that. One of the few delays that we had is I knew of one delay, that was the processing of the monies, because like I told you that through the systems that are supposed to be put in place, there was supposed to be money that was supposed to be allocated for this. That was for me the first issue. I'll be explaining how the process is going to be done and how we've come to that. But according to Moses Magogo, the news that he came out and, of course, came out and confirmed, he said that the constructor Suma came out and confirmed that the 20 acres, yes, they are enough. They can construct a stadium in those 20 acres. But sometimes, usually, when you have a small piece of land and you put a lot, because now such stadiums that are constructed for these tournaments are usually multi-purpose stadiums. Uganda, just like any other African country, or any other third world African country, we usually do not have wastage of resources. So if we have a stadium like this that is constructed to the world level, they need to include other facilities in there, which include the training pitches, over like 2 or 3 training pitches on the ground itself. Usually for these construction works, they usually also put up an indoor arena around. They also put up other facilities for other sports discipline to occupy, because it is utilizing the available resources and maximizing the utilization itself. So that is why there is need for a bigger piece of land for this to be constructed. So FUFA came out and confirmed through Moses Magogo that they've acquired another 10 acres. So that was done in the previous month. So as we've been waiting for the updates, and of course for what the constructor or the contractor is supposed to be doing, we also have been confirmed too that it's going to be another 10 acres to include on the 20 acres that have already been bought. So our FUFA has bought 20 acres to include on the 10 acres, and the transition from the names of FUFA all the way to government, like I told you, because in Uganda here we do not, government does not build on private property. If it's property that is supposed to be, if something is supposed to be constructed like a road, like a stadium or any other government property through the National Council of Sports, you need to transfer the property into the names of government, so or in National Council of Sports, for you to really confirm that it is now duly a property of the government for them to construct anything that they really want to have in there. So that process has also been ongoing, and we've of course been confirmed to that it's going to be ending, and everything is all set to be ongoing. So for you who that have been asking where the stadium stands, that is where it stands. And of course we are still waiting for the architectural plans, because now after acquiring that sizable piece of land, that means the structures and the inclusions on that piece of land where the stadium is going to be constructed have to be adjusted a little. So that means that we still have a month to go for us to get at least the actual plan. Now with the company that we are dealing with, 8 months is enough for us to have a stadium running and very perfect in there. But of course, like we told you through the Minister of State, Mr. Peter Gwang, he came out and confirmed that government needs at least 2 or 3 months for them to carry out evaluation to see where the stadium has reached, to see whether things have been ongoing perfectly, for them to give themselves time to evaluate as well as make corrections where necessary and where need be. And of course, one of the other things that we expect in there through the trends that are coming in and through what SUMA usually does in relation to the Rwanda Mahoro Stadium, we expect to have a better playing surface. And usually what they do, besides having of course a better stadium, a better facility, but also the surface, the playing surface, usually they use what they call a hybrid grass. And hybrid grass is a mixture of the natural grass as well as the synthetic turf itself. And of course 70% usually is the turf, and then 30% is natural grass. What they do through science and through the introduction of course of this stuff, they usually let the grass grow within. So it's a mix of both, and it's something that has been picking trends all the way in different stadia around the world. Usually we don't see turfs in these big stadiums, but already if you watch the UEFA Europa League final that was between Villarreal and Manchester United in one of the stadium, I think it was a stadium in Norway. I'm forgetting. It's a stadium in Poland. It's called Gonzac Stadium. That was, of course, the turf that was hosting that final. So that means on UEFA standards, this turf is already acceptable. And of course, we also know that one of the other things that you can say as the advantage that this turf has when you compare to the other the artificial turf as well as the natural grass, because it's in between there. It's in between the artificial grass as well as the turf itself. It's a mix of both. So one of the things, it's an all-weather pitch, because when you have hot seasons, usually you expect the grass to be a little bit depleted, but now because you have more of the synthetic turf, then it can grow in within, and it gives time for the turf really to recover in there. The other thing about it, it can be used to 3 to 4 times more playing hours as compared to this. In fact, when you see the natural grass itself, it can accommodate over from 600 to 800 hours per year of playing, constant playing. But when you compare it to the hybrid grass, it can do something like 1,500 hours per year. So there is a little bit of a change, and there is a little bit of advantage when you compare those two. And of course, when you have this grass installed, you don't, these patches that usually have holes that come into the pitch because of too much playing, because of the sunshine, because of the rains, no, you won't have them in there. It also provides additional income opportunities for the stadium. You are not worried about having other activities on the pitch, because usually what really stops us from having other activities on through the pitch, because we expect it to be depleted a little bit earlier. So it gives more time and more availability of the pitch for other stadium works as well as activities in there. It also, when you look at the maintenance itself, it's not, yes, the things like watering are done, the trimming, but of course the level at which it is as compared to natural grass is not really too expensive. So the maintenance cost as well are better off, and of course in there. So there is a lot of things that you can talk about this hybrid grass. So you expect it to be one of the features that we might pick on there. And of course, over 45 clubs have already undertaken this hybrid grass. And you have notable stadiums, the likes of the Etihad Stadium. We have the Emirates Stadium as well. We have the Old Trafford at Manchester United, the White Hart Lane at Tottenham Hotspur, the St. James Park at Newcastle United. We also have the Goodson Park at Everton. So we have better stadiums already that are undertaking the hybrid grass, and it's the same that was installed all the way in Amahoro Stadium here in Rwanda. So you expect it to be a little bit better. And then on the surface itself, you expect training pitches, 1 or 2 training pitches around, for us to have at least something better when you compare it to the other stadiums that are in the country. So initially, that is why I am now coming back and of course making an update onto this video, because there's a video that I came out and I had lost hope. I came out and of course confessed that I may not see the stadium come to pass. It might not be a stadium that we might pick on, because of course the Nambole thing was done, but of course we had the Akibwa Stadium, but also there was talk of the other Akibwa Stadium coming in to replace the Hoima City Stadium. So we expect it to be done, and we expect it to be worked on according to that. Of course, a lot will be asked about why we are having, of course, the slow pace in there. But you have to know that already there is already the motion was already passed on to the floor of Parliament, the Budget Committee, and of course the report of the committee to do with the National Budget Framework was already passed into that paper of 2024 to 2028, which the House approved all the way with amendments on January 31st, 2024, which of course came out and asked, of course, presented a lot of things, which includes the 90 million US dollars that we are supposed to pass on the way all the way to CAF, which we are supposed to pay as host nations, general host nations. The 3 partner states were supposed to pay that money, so it's supposed to be included in the budget. And of course, the Parliament agreed with the committee in recommending that the Finance Ministry commit 20 billion to the National Council of Sports for construction of 11 training grounds around the country, and also recommended that the Finance Ministry commits 380 to the National Council of Sports to the construction of the Hoima Stadium, and of course Kibwa Stadium, which will cost something like 100 billion. And of course they also talked about Buhinga Stadium. That was also one of the other stadiums that were included in the bid as training stadiums in there. So you expect the government to be undertaking this with a lot of desire and a lot of pace in there. So let us be patient. Let us see that this is coming to pass on, and we really appreciate the government as well as FUFA for coming out with that essential update about the additional land that they have achieved, of course, to enable the construction of a proper stadium that we are looking forward to having in there. Thank you so much for being part of the sports arena. That is what I could offer for you. So that is one thing I would really have to share with you for you to be a little bit relaxed and to tell you that the progress is there, though it's slow, but we expect it to be something that will be done in due time.